I'm in Israel when I was younger and been there many times. What I wanted to say is, as far back, this is quite controversial probably what I'm going to say, maybe not to everyone here, but as far back as the 1980s, when the situation wasn't as bad as it is now, or has been for the last few years, the Israeli Defence Forces took pleasure in doing things like going to the Palestinian areas, shooting their water birds, shooting their animals, shooting them, for a laugh, that kind of thing. So it's been going on for a very long time. And for anyone who hasn't been, if you did go to Israel/Palestine, you would immediately see the Israeli part is like modern America, and the Palestinian part, I haven't been to Gaza, only to the West Bank, is like going back into Bible times where people are riding around on donkeys and living in very poor conditions, and that was before they even started invading what was left of it. I just want to say that Israel is one of the most highly militarised countries in the world. The women go, at this point, I don't know about now, but it's probably the same, if not worse. The women go into the army from the age of 18 to 20, and the men go in from 18 to 21. And as you can imagine, they are brainwashed for their whole lives, as we all know. But what I will say is there is never a time when Israel is not on high alert. Even in the 1980s, if you left a bag down there by the side of you and didn't claim it, someone would come along and blow it up. So for me to be able to believe that a couple of weeks ago they were caught off guard and allowed an attack to happen for 5 to 7 hours without knowing about it is, excuse the language, utter BS. I won't say the proper word because there's children here. I don't believe that for 1 second, that they allowed it to happen, they didn't know anything about it. The fence was put up. If a fox walked past it, they would know the fox was there. They've got very high security. So what happened, I believe they knew about and they allowed as an excuse for what came next, which was to flatten Gaza. Another thing I will say, I've got videos on my phone which I can send to anyone who wants to see them, of former Israeli Defence Forces saying exactly the same thing. There was no way this just happened. They warned that something was going to happen. They knew about it, they allowed it. The festival that went on was moved at the last minute so that the people were in a vulnerable position, so they were just thrown out to allow them to be attacked for what happened next. There's also, I've got footage again I can happily show anybody, of people on the kibbutz where they said that most of the people that got killed were killed by the Israeli Defence Force that have got a shoot to kill policy, just went in, killed everybody, and then worried about the consequences afterwards. Again, I do have this footage. Give me your number at the end. I will more than happily pass this on to anyone who would like to see it. And that's, this is from actual the Israeli Defence Force and Jewish witnesses that have said as much. But again, of course, you're never going to see that in the mainstream media here or in the West, because they tell you who you should feel sorry for. They're never going to give a balanced picture. It's always totally biased. It's disgusting. It's immoral. It's awful. You don't ever see the true picture. You don't see the real suffering. You don't see the kids stood on a pile of rubble shouting for their mum and dad. The mums, with the bodies of their babies and stuff. So I'm shaking now. Of the bodies of their babies, of all the people that have been killed. I can't see how anyone in their right mind can't think that this was a planned attack and used as an excuse for what came next. You only have to look at the people that always want war and want people to be killed, the people that invest in Lockheed Martin and Raytheon and the armaments companies that just before all these wars start. And just as a point, just to say this, when the Ukraine war started, everyone was going around collecting to send stuff, over to Ukraine, bandages, food, all the rest of it. Where's those collections? Maybe in your community, but in the wider community, where are those collections? Where are those people? We're not told that we've got to sympathise with them. Innocent people told to get out of hospital, take their kids out of hospital when they're in intensive care, with a very short period of time to do so, because it's going to be flattened minutes or hours later. what else did I want to say? Obviously I don't agree with any form of terror, I don't like anyone being hurt or killed, but this is the reality that we're dealing with. And you know, with regard to the situation, I don't know what is the alternative. It's the biggest most highly populated area, it's the biggest refugee camp on the planet. They're treated appallingly, and I don't as much as I don't like anything to do with terror, and I'm sure we all don't. What is the alternative? I don't see. They've got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, no one to help them. They're not even allowed to have water and stuff like that. I mean, it's just, you couldn't make it up. And I don't know, just people there have got no hope. They've got no future, nothing to look forward to. As far as I can see, nowhere in the West is calling out for any kind of equality. And it's all we all have to apparently feel sorry for Israel, and they're the victims. Well, not from my point of view, when they're not. So I don't really know what else to say really before I can start crying in a minute. But thanks for you guys for coming today and listening to what I've got to say. But that's from my heart. That's how I feel. Anyway, thank you.